Welcome in, everybody. I'm Nick Cafagno, alongside a very special guest of mine, Astros closer, Josh Hader. Josh, how you doing today?
Pretty good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here with you. So you're going into your second year on the Astros. How you feeling? Are you feeling more comfortable going through camp this year?
Yeah, it's definitely nice. Obviously, you get familiar with the guys on the team, and then you kind of understand how they run things. And, it's always better when you come in the second time and, have you're not really a fresh face. You kind of understand the ropes, and you're just going through with your business.
So you spent a little time in the Astros minor league system early in your career. Did that weigh into your decision at all to come back here and join the squad last year?
It definitely helped. I mean, obviously knowing the organization and what they were about, but long term, I mean, they've pretty much switched through the GMs and kind of ran things a little bit differently. So, yes, it was, but we really just wanted to be in Texas and be with an organization that wanted to win long term.
So you were a huge part of the Brewers team and all their success. What was that experience like for you when you got traded to San Diego?
It was definitely a shock. At the time, I didn't know that it was going to happen during the season. We were in first place at the time, but it was kind of a blessing in disguise for me. I got to know some pitching coaches that helped me a long way, and be able to kind of identify some things that I was going wrong and fix those, and kind of get back to where I should be.
Was there anybody that was a major mentor to you throughout the minor leagues or even in Milwaukee?
Man, there's so many people that impacted my career. I mean, it's hard to name them all, but there's things along your career that if you can be coachable and learn little things and just continue to experiment, I think that's when you get the greater impact, when you're open-minded and not really even if how you're pitching is working well, still be able to take information in and be able to process it and use it daily.
So you spent the first 6 years of your career starting in the minor leagues. What was that adjustment like to you when they put you in the bullpen and had you closing games in your first year?
The adjustment was more of the routine base. It was how can I get ready when the phone rings and be ready within 5 minutes. That was the biggest thing. And then once I figured that out, it was more of just trying to attack hitters. It was a little bit different process on the pitching game side of it, but overall, it wasn't too bad of an adjustment for me.
So, your previous two stops in Milwaukee and San Diego, a little more pitcher friendly. Now in Houston, known to be a little more hitter friendly. Has that been a real adjustment for you?
I would say you try not to change anything you're doing based on the park you're at. Obviously, having a short porch and left, they can get away with some out over, and still be able to hook it over. But ultimately you can't control that. So when you're up on the mound, you don't want to be thinking about things that you can't control. So ultimately, if you can control what you can control, just everything else is going to happen.
Do you have a favorite ballpark that you've been able to pitch in?
Personally, for me, it was San Diego. That was my number one on the top of my list.
So what would you say has been the most memorable part of your career for you?
Honestly, there's been a few which I'm very fortunate enough to have. 163 against the Cubs at Wrigley. Just those matches we had with the Cubs were outstanding. I would say one that really pops off to me was the 2022 against LA. That game was just a wild game. I mean, if you saw that game, just how it progressed and how we came back and were able to take the lead. I mean, that just in that, not even with me pitching, but just how we played that game was pretty unbelievable.
What was your welcome to the big leagues moment?
I don't know, like specifically pitching wise, but I know like just being in the bullpen and just sitting there and I mean, we watched the games for 6+ innings, and it's like you just sit back and you're like, man, like we're really doing this, and like you just see the upper decks, and you're like, stadiums are huge, and just the fans, and I think that was like kind of like the big moment.
Did you have a favorite player growing up that you modeled your game after?
Ooh, there's a few. I mean, obviously, Randy Johnson was a big guy. D-Train was one that I always loved, just his mechanics and the way he went about his business. That was a guy I really looked up to, kind of how he used his mechanics as deception, and just he was a big lefty too. So that was just two guys that I kind of always loved watching pitch.
Now, this spring, the MLB is experimenting with the automatic ball strike challenge system. What have been your thoughts on the early trials so far?
Honestly, I haven't been able to use it. I haven't even seen it in action. Obviously we don't have it here at our stadium. So I think New York was the one stadium we have, but I didn't get a chance to experiment. So I think that might be a little bit too much, but I don't know. I mean, I think it's nice to have that human error. I mean, obviously it for some cases it kind of stinks to have it, like when you're throwing one down the middle and they get called a ball. I mean, I've seen that a couple of times. Like, that's kind of like where it's nice to have it, but I mean, those things are so accurate. I mean, it's down to it's like to the centimeter, isn't it? Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how it plays out.
Well, Josh, that's all I have for you today. I appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Good luck this season. I appreciate you doing this. I'm here with Astros shortstop Jeremy Pena. Jeremy, how are you doing today?
Doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. How you feeling being back at spring training? Now you're an established presence in this locker room. How's it feel coming back here every year?
I'm excited. We get to do what we love, and we get to do it with great people all around us, and we have a great group right now, and excited to go.
You're a big playoff hero for this Astros organization. What was it like, hitting in the World Series and hitting in the ALCS, and how did you keep yourself composed to put up that much success?
I mean, it was surreal. It's a moment that we as kids always dream of, playing in the World Series, winning the World Series. So, it's a moment that, I sat down and I took in as it was happening. But, I say we had a great team. I feel like my teammates were the ones that kind of kept me grounded, kept me cool. They were a big part and big help that helped me do what I did.
Now Jose Altuve is moving to left field this year. You got a new third baseman in Isaac Paredes. What's it going to be like having a whole new infield around you and working with different guys in the infield?
I mean, first things first, Altuve is, a great player, and for him to be willing to move to left field just shows you the character of the player he is. He's a player that wants to win. Isaac Paredes, great pickup, and he fits right in with the team. Christian Walker, Brenden Rodgers, Mauricio Dubon. I feel like the chemistry right now in the infield is phenomenal, and we're excited.
I was here last week, and I heard one of your coaches say that he expects you to steal 50 bags this year. Is that maybe a bit of a lofty expectation, or is that something you really think you can get done?
I mean, I definitely think I can steal more bags than I've stolen in past years. It's kind of like a joke we had going on that, I'm going to steal 50. But, yeah, I can definitely steal more bags than what I've been doing in the past years. I know it can be a part of my game, and, that's something I'm working on.
Appreciate the time, Jeremy. Best of luck this season.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm here with Astros infielder Brenden Rodgers. Brenden, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
How's it feel to be at Astros camp after all that time in Colorado now with a whole new team?
Yeah, I'm excited for a new opportunity. Spending the last 9 seasons with the same team was great, but I'm looking forward to the new opportunities and the new team. Yeah.
What kind of changes do you think it makes for you mentally to be a new setting, new scenery?
Yeah, I think just the first couple weeks I've been here, it's the focus, the intent with the work on defense and in the cage and everything. It really pops, catches my eye, and it really is cool to see how focused the hitting coaches and everybody around. It's just there's so much hard work going on here, and I'm loving it so far.
Obviously, a cornerstone of this Astros team has been Jose Altuve, and now he's moving out to left field. What's it been like to be around him and learn some things from him?
Yeah, we've talked quite a bit. He's a great guy and someone that's willing to move from the position they've played their whole career to kind of open up opportunities for other players, and obviously he'll still be in the lineup every day. So that's his bat has been great, and moving to left field I think is going to be a smooth transition for him. I'm looking forward to hopefully playing with him and getting to work with him.
All right, one last question. What was it like? What's the difference for you going from Coors Field now over to Houston?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the biggest thing is probably the altitude. The pitches move different than they do at sea level. But I think I'm looking forward to playing at sea level 90% of my games instead of splitting that 50-50, because the ball does move. It kind of tricks your eye a little bit going from back and forth from Denver, but I'm looking forward to playing at sea level.
Well, I appreciate your time, Brenden. I wish you best of luck this season. I'm here now with Spencer Arrighetti. Spencer, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you feeling being back at camp this year?
Man, it's really exciting. Obviously, feeling the energy, being around all the guys again. Camaraderie's back. The gamesmanship's back. I'm ready to compete. I'm ready to get after it.
You were able to crack the Major League roster last year and play a big role in that rotation. How are you feeling now with the rotation fully healthy?
I mean, that's a leading question. Obviously, I try to mind my own business with that stuff. My job doesn't change regardless. I show up, I get after it, and I get out there every 5 days and I do my job. And obviously, I'm happy for guys getting healthy. I'm happy for the whole team being ready to get after it, and roles will be what they are.
What have you tried to adjust going into this season?
Just trying to be a little bit less. Trying to think of a good way to put this. I'm putting less pressure on myself in between games. I'm trying to make the pressure be about my work that's leading up to the game and allowing myself to just go put it on display out there every 5. And I feel like it's been really good for my mental state. I feel like I'm in a good spot to compete.
Has there been anybody that's really taken you under their wing since you got up to the Major League roster?
Yeah, man. I mean, you just saw him, Hunter Brown. He was honestly a really similar story getting to the big leagues. He kind of got pushed up the ladder pretty quick. He got tossed into a rotation that needed him in well, not the rotation that needed him. Obviously, he debuted in the playoffs and stuff. There was a little bit of a difference there. But I think he's seen a lot of his story, his path in me, and he's trying to help me navigate it the way that he wished that he would have maybe. And I really appreciate him for that.
All right, well, thank you for your time, Spencer. Wish you best of luck this season.
Thank you.